This province is key to tourism. You've got to export this coastline. This conference aims at presenting lucrative investment opportunities within the OR Tambo district municipality and to build up sustainable partnerships that will facilitate economic growth and development in the region. This conference has been organized with a view to attract investors beyond where you are, beyond the province, beyond the country. Our vision is to partner with investors, building mutually beneficial and sustainable relationships that aim at ensuring the attainment of a developmental municipality responsive to social aspirations. I like that one. And for an economically vibrant, healthy, and sustainable community. That's the vision as stated in the financial mail in respect to advertisement around the attraction of investors and participants at this conference. You live here, and that's why we say we make changes where we live. Accepting the obvious reality that this municipality is not an isolated island, but part of the Eastern Cape province, itself a key province of our country, South Africa, which is part of the economic global village. And aware that the objective of this investment conference is the attraction of business and investments, both from the domestic as well as the international investment community. And furthermore, conscious of the current challenging economic environment in the world markets. It is therefore vital, it is also necessary to reflect upon these important matters in order to locate this important conference of ours here, as well as its desired outcomes, to locate this conference within the real world. This province, the Eastern Cape, our province, this area requires development. Things ought to change here. For a start, you are exporting people. Secondly, you export intellectual capital. Some of the best brains, you send them to us. And then when they get old, they demand, I want to go back home. It was a strategy. Don't invest money here. Why help this area? So you introduce confusion, but never capital. We want to look at mining opportunities here and call on other mining houses to join us in what can be prospected and discovered here. You have 1.7 million people in this district alone, bigger than the population of Lesotho. This district alone, larger than the population of Botswana, larger than the population of Swaziland. But those countries are doing so well. And here, we're running back in a country, South Africa, that was developed so vastly. We who live here must be able to tell government. Otherwise, to wait for them to draft strategies, to right the situation, put it from here. Although our economy was not caught in the devastating epicenter of the financial and banking failures experienced across the world, it is nevertheless beginning to suffer, and we must take this very seriously. The South African economy is beginning to suffer from the shock waves, the epicenter. When you make a blast, I was trained, there's damage that you find yourself in the epicenter. You see this meltdown that happened, the failure of the banking industry and other financial institutions worldwide. Didn't happen here because the regulatory systems in South Africa protected us. So I stress on ways to devise new and innovative strategies, not merely to weather the global economic storm, but to entrench sustainable growth and development strategies for the sake of our country. The other day, Comrade Vavi, so it's my Vavi, Viva, Vavi, Viva, I don't know how this thing works in Limbiak. Vavi was lamenting that these days they are not even negotiating salaries increases, which is what we do all the time when we face one another across the table with unions. It's really about how to save jobs now. I came to this conference feeling that this is something I would like to do today. To think together with all of us about how just to begin to defend this country. It's not going to be easy. Here's Obama in his inauguration speech. For those who are not listening, he said that the collapse that we are seeing right now is because of greed, but it's also because government was not at the epicenter of making sure that it regulates properly. Now he is more of a communist than all of us. He's nationalizing, does all sorts of things. I think he should be deputized by Blade in Zema. What it is that investors are looking for from you, what will bring them here and what will chase them away. That's what I came to tell you about. We've got to think of different strategies, how to reposition ourselves. But it happens where you are. I'll keep on repeating that. It happens where you are. Trevor can speak wherever, but here you have got you must take control. The current challenge is therefore, in this climate, where GDP is forecasted about 1.8%, it may come to zero. It may go negative, depending on how deep this thing goes. To saying, when capital says to you when they come here, what's in it for me? Say, we have partnership. That's the first thing you're offering, partnership. Corporate players require the kind of incentives that I see you putting on the table here. Once investors are not sure about the certainty of the location and the stability of land, nobody takes a chance. You want to be sure that the permits are right in respect of land. Tell them about those partnerships, but give them certainty around who owns the land. What they want is a friendly government. Give them one stop. A place where they can come and everything is attended there. They want to hear from you about your strategies around the rivers. Have a strategy around the utilization of water here. But I'm saying working together, we can do more. And hold national government to that slogan, working together, because there's a tendency of people to have, egos kill economies. The poorest of the poor need us, not to shuffle paper around and delay projects, but to take decisions so that we can execute things to address their issues, not to bring egos, and so on. Okay? Investors do not want egos. Oh, the coastline, Lehman, this coastline. This is one of the longest coastlines. There's no African country which is washed by two oceans. Sol Kesner, this was one of his ideas. He saw this coastline. It's unthinkable that we've got such a long coastline. We fly over it. It's lying fallow. This province is key to tourism. You see, you're sitting with a coastline here. You've got to export this coastline. Foreign currency comes because you are selling something outside. You export your coastline and other tourism projects that you have here. By attracting people to come, you can't lift it. So they must come here. And when they come here, they're carrying only one thing, foreign currency. So you can't just have the wild coast in such a beautiful area here. I believe that if you think very, very carefully, the number one key industry in the world, the biggest industry in the world, is tourism. Why can't we make it a number one project or industry in this district of this province of our country? It can't just be that Sol Kesner came here, passed, and now he's doing one and only in Cape Town. Surely there are other ways of attracting people. Why can't you attract me? Tell me what you're doing here. Maybe there should have been a Radisson here. And I really mean it. Because this is not just a wild coast. It's wild and promising with opportunities.